What is up, people? It is your boy here, Triple S Storm, and today I'm going to be talking about Pokemon Go. Now, I haven't done a lot of Pokemon Go videos in a very long time, and there is actually a reason for that. See, what happened was the original phone which I would normally use to do Pokemon Go videos, I actually sold that phone, so I no longer have possession of a phone which can play Pokemon Go. What I actually have is a Motorola Razer Droid XT910, which is a pretty old phone. It actually has gingerbread on it, which is 2 point something, I'm not sure, 2 point something, and that's basically what I'm running right now. And eventually I'll have to upgrade to something else so that I can get back into Pokemon Go. But basically, for what I'm seeing, I'm not missing a whole lot based on what's going on. But this video, basically what I wanted to do is just kind of lightly go over a few things and in depth go over a few things as to some changes that have been taking place in Pokemon Go. A lot of people, a lot of YouTubers have been saying that these are minor changes, but these are actually major changes, and I'm going to explain why I say that these are major changes, and some of them are actually minor changes, and how they affect the game, and a few other things for you guys to actually get a better understanding as to exactly what's going on at Niantic and why a lot of stuff have been put off and a lot of stuff have been changed, and if this is actually them prepping for Gen 2. So this is basically what this video is about. There's probably not going to be any actual footage in this. I'm not videoing it because I don't have a good camera, so I'm just going to be talking, and I'll try to see if I can get something entertaining to put up in the background, so you guys stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'm going to get started right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna get started right here, right now, with first off talking about a few lighting differences that a lot of people have been reported seeing and wondering exactly why has the lighting been changed. Now, first and foremost, I'd like to say that for those who do know and those who don't know, Pokemon Go is actually made using the Unity engine, but I believe that when you buy the professional version, you actually have the option to remove Unity's banner splash screen, which actually comes up and show the actual giving them their credit, which is something that happens in the personal version, which is what I use to make my games. Like, say for example, the Adventures of Xerix, which you guys can check out. I'll link that somewhere at the top left of the video, or top right, my top left, your top right. So basically, what they're doing is they're actually using simpler systems to create lighting in the game. Also, they're actually using different types of dynamic lighting to actually increase performance and to reduce the amount of pixels and the amount of textures which are actually drawn on the screen per second, which is actually gonna increase the frame rate and actually make the game run at a more comfortable pace. Now, I know it might sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. It might just sound like a bunch of gibbering and a bunch of jabbering, and people might be thinking, hey, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But even if I can't explain the exact terms and the exact references that are actually used to explain these things, I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I can actually tell you guys what's going on. Now, the first thing which they actually did way back was, before sprites actually loaded, they implemented this white glowing ball, which was something that I was actually upset about, and I wasn't upset about it for the wrong reason. I was actually upset about it for the right reason. Now, when the sprites didn't load, there was actually a blank space until the sprites load, which I was okay with. But when this ball started appearing, I kind of got upset because I know that this is something that's going to take a lot of processing power, because this is a particle system based light, and in Unity, particle systems actually take a lot of memory to use and a lot of processing power, a lot from the GPU as well, in order to do this. So when I saw this, I actually kind of got upset because I knew this was something that's going to take up a lot of power, and I was kind of right. Now, back to the in-game now. The lighting actually got changed to increase performance overall in the game if you're close to gyms and Pokestops, and the overall area lighting. I'm not sure. I don't think they'd use area lighting. What I think they actually use is they're probably going to use something like maybe a directional light, which actually will light an entire area and basically light the entire scene. So that's basically what I think they do. And they probably just turn off the directional lighting when it comes to the nighttime. Now, another thing that a lot of people have been noticing and changing is attack animations and dust particles. Now, the reason why a lot of the attack animations have been changed is they were more realistic style. They were using more realistic style towards it, so it was basically more realistic looking fire, more realistic looking water. That was basically what they were aiming for. But eventually they were like, well, this is a game which is based from a cartoon, so we can use toon shaders. And if you guys didn't know, toon shaders actually use less colors, which actually means that less colors would be drawn per second. And less colors drawn per second is the less GPU power that it uses, the less RAM power that it uses, and overall makes it move faster. So basically what I'm saying is they're actually changing up these things in the game to actually increase the speed of the game, to actually lower the amount of memory which each individual asset takes up in the game. And also what they're actually doing is they're actually increasing the loading time, which is basically something that a lot of people have been noticing. Now, here's something that you probably wouldn't really understand if you are a game creator or an editor, or you have some basic knowledge of how games work, or all that stuff. Then you basically understand this. If a single black box has a light shining on it from one area, and it has, let's say for example, 50 colors, that's probably going to take up like 2 gigs RAM and maybe a little bit over, let's say 120 megabytes from GPU. This is gonna actually make it move slower if that's the actual requirement, because it's gonna have the basic requirements for it. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to make sure that they could use something like, say, a cube which only has 3 colors, which would actually only require 512 megabytes of RAM and actually only use about 50 megabytes of your GPU. So basically what they're doing is, for the weaker model phones which actually can run Android 5.1 or 5.2 and Lollipop 6.1 and I think 6.2. I'm not sure. I've never tried Marshmallow. Marshmallow is Android 6. Lollipop is Android 5. I apologize for that, my bad. And they're basically just trying to increase the way this game functions on each individual devices, making the weaker devices having the same effect or having the same field as the stronger devices, therefore not making these weaker devices having a less greater experience than people with the more expensive phones, and thus creating a parity in the game. Now, that's one reason. The other reason is, yes, it is actually prepping for Gen 2, and the reason why I'd say this is prepping for Gen 2 is because if you guys realized after Baby Pokemon kind of rollout, there were a lot of things that actually started to occur. A lot of people really noticed loading time. I was one who noticed the loading time kind of started to increase. More assets started going to the game, a lot more mechanics, more scripting. This kind of started to slow down the game. So eventually what Niantic is trying to do is Niantic is trying to refine the game as it is, making the game a lot faster, a lot smoother, and a lot more user-friendly, until they're actually at a pace where they can actually say the game is working at least 50%, because in my honest opinion, I'd say Pokemon Go is actually at about 18% complete right now in terms of where Niantic and the Pokemon Company and Nintendo would want it to be. I wouldn't say that Pokemon Go is actually 100% complete, because when they showed the trailer, Pokemon Go showed so much that it could have done, and so far The only real things that we've actually been able to do is catch Pokemon, battle gyms, and I guess catch specific hatch Pokemon from egg, I guess. Maybe go to specific areas, get specific Pokemon. That's basically what we've been able to do. We got Go Plus a bit late compared to what we saw in the opening trailer thing that they did. So Pokemon Go really has a very, very, very long way to go, and it's not gonna get to where they want it to get to anytime soon. Honestly, Pokemon Go is out almost a year now, and I'll say maybe by the end of this year we'll probably get Gen 2, maybe earlier, and maybe we'll probably get Gen 3 somewhere around 2 years from now or a year and a half from now. But I don't think they're going to be stressing to increase the amount of generations that they're going, because eventually what will happen is we'll probably start catching up with the main series, and that's probably not what they really want. They'd probably just make another game, but I really hope that they don't, because Pokemon Go as itself, if they can actually do it the way that they want to do it, they can actually squeeze a lot of money out of this product. But honestly, I just really want to see them work more and refine, and what I'd really like for them to do is actually add the ability to add more gyms and more Pokestops in rural areas, because people like me who only has one gym in my area and like 4 Pokestops, it's real tough to have to leave to an entire area again to get another Pokestop or get another gym. And if you get kicked out of that gym, you're going to have to go back there again. And I understand that the main aim of the game is to actually go to visit other places and have the experience, but sometimes it's a bit too much to travel to 7 or 8 different places or 10 different places to be in 10 different gyms, when there are other places that it's basically just one small area and there are like 4 or 5 gyms there. It's actually a big area in a big urban area where it's a big city or so, but there's like 5 or 6, 7 gyms that are really close to each other, like maybe about a kilometer or so. And there's other places like where I live where there's like about things that are like maybe a kilometer. The gym's probably about a half a kilometer away or something. And I've shown you guys in multiple videos how the gym system is, and how Ingress actually has an extra portal which isn't actually a gym or a Pokestop in mine. And I've actually been on a campaign doing a whole bunch of work on OpenStreetMaps and Google Maps and all that stuff. So that's going on, and I'm not sure what the results are. I haven't been able to play Pokemon, but if I do, however, get back on Pokemon and I've been playing Pokemon Go and see any changes, I'll let you guys know. I'll make a video, let you guys know what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and all that stuff. But I think this video is a bit too long. I never really intended to make this video exactly too long, but I really want to just touch on the main bases as to what has been going on with Pokemon Go and all these recent texture changes that have been going on. I think it really started with the Raichu, which was basically the first thing that I thought about, because in Unity Engine, whenever you change a texture and revert it back to its default texture, it's going to have that white color, which was what happened with Raichu's hat. A lot of people thought it was shiny, but it wasn't. It was basically just an absence of texture, which caused it to be white. So I guess what they were trying to do was change Raichu's texture to a more toon-like texture, and that was their result. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on my email, send stuff to my email. I actually have my post office address set up in the about bar. You can actually send me stuff if you actually want to send like fan mail, stuff like that. You can send all that to there. This is Triple Tom telling you guys, play some Pokemon, keep enjoying it. And for another note, Pokemon Duel is actually out. I might get on that when I get my other phone. I'll let you guys know all about that stuff. And I'll see you guys in another video. Remember guys, knowledge is power. Always try to get smarter every single day. I'll see you guys in another video. You guys take care.